Good morning to you, Mr. Carswell.
Morning.
Look, there's a very obvious question here, which is why are you supporting Vote Leave rather than Leave.eu, which is the group Nigel Farage is backing?
Well, UKIP's policy is very clear. It was reaffirmed by UKIP's ruling National Executive Committee on Monday, which is that UKIP will work with any group likely to stand a reasonable chance of getting designation. It would be bad for UKIP and it would be bad for the Out campaign if we were to cut ourselves off from the campaign that I believe most likely to get designation.
So you think Nigel Farage is backing the campaign that is least likely to get that official designation?
Well, it's not really a case of what I think or what Nigel thinks or what you think. It's what the Electoral Commission thinks. Now, if you talk to the Electoral Commission, and I've spent quite a lot of time listening to them, they assess the likelihood of getting designation. If we'd been having this conversation a month ago, I would have said it would be a two-horse race. I now suspect it's a one-horse race. We really don't want to cut ourselves off from a very effective campaign. Look, I would cross a six-lane highway to work with someone who wanted to leave the European Union. It's going to be a bit challenging, it's going to be a bit uncomfortable at times, but to win this referendum, we're going to have to work with everyone.
It begs the question, if you really want to win, you're going to be better off, aren't you, everyone who supports getting out of the EU, all working together, getting that designation together and providing a unified front. Is that even a possibility?
I think we see it today. The wonderful thing about today is that we now see the launch of not just a cross-party organisation, but an organisation that has support of people outside politics altogether. Look, there are enormous technological and economic forces out there reshaping the world. This is about making sure we have a campaign that argues we need to get back control. The EU has lost control. We need to get back control. And I think it's an incredibly exciting initiative. And it's great that we can sit down, UKIP, Labour, Conservative, non-partisan at all, and make sure that we argue that Britain would be better off if we had control over our affairs, and that the really high-risk thing to do would be to remain part of an EU that is no longer in control of its own affairs. I
mean, obviously you're going to be one of the leading lights of Vote Leave. Would you be prepared to work with Leave.eu, I mean, for the two groups to combine?
Absolutely, absolutely, but it's really important, you know, getting a whole bunch of likes on Facebook is not the same as winning a referendum. The wonderful thing about both Matthew Elliott and Dominic Cummings, two leading lights in this campaign, is they've actually got experience in winning referendums. And I think that's incredibly important. So, you know, yes, let's come together. I'll work with anyone, as I said, to make sure that we win this referendum. But I think it's really important that we do so on a broad, cross-party, non-aligned basis. And one of the reasons why I think today is so exciting is because we're seeing that. We're seeing it happening.
Is it right that Vote Leave actually is supporting the renegotiation efforts? And if that is the case, why are you campaigning to leave the EU before that any sort of renegotiation has been struck?
Vote Leave, as the name suggests, is campaigning to get designation to head the official Leave campaign. So, you know, let's be clear about this. This is a campaign that wants to leave the European Union. To suggest otherwise, I think, is not correct. Now, Business for Britain, a successor organisation, if you like, was involved in trying to push for changes, but I don't think those changes are forthcoming, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's rolled into the official Leave campaign. Look, there are going to be lots of people, organisations out there watching this who haven't yet made up their mind. We mustn't be purist about this. We've got to create the space for people who come down on our side of the fence. That's how you win campaigns.
Douglas Carswell, thank you.